Blueprints is one of the most deceptively deep games with clues, hints, puzzles, and red herrings all around you. You are constantly surrounded by information, and solutions are often right in front of your eyes. To make matters slightly easier for your adventure at Mount Holly, here are the top 10 tips and best practices that are not only great for beginners, but also might come in handy later as well. These tips will be mostly spoiler-free because solving puzzles on your own in Blueprints is a feeling that everyone should get to enjoy. Tip number 1, get a notebook. One of the biggest regrets was that I didn't use a notebook from the very beginning. There's so much information to keep track of, and you would be amazed how something that is seemingly meaningless can have such a large impact. Not many games anymore have a need for notebooks, so take advantage of this fleeting moment. Tip number 2, the great outdoors. After you read the note on the table on day 1, consider turning around and going outside for some fresh air. Not only is the world serene and beautiful, but familiarizing yourself with everything that is outside will likely come in handy later on. Going through doors does burn footsteps, which is one of the most valuable currencies, but being outdoors doesn't cause you to lose too many steps after all. Find the boundaries of this world and make note of what you see. Without a doubt, you will notice multiple things that will spark your curiosity. Tip number 3, slow down. As mentioned, you will only lose steps when moving from room to room. Consider slowing it down as each room is filled with puzzles, clues, and red herrings. You're not going to lose any steps if you take your time in each room and try to absorb all of the information you can and write down valuable information. Tip number 4, build direction. Blueprints isn't about getting to the 46th room the fastest, and even if you tried to build almost all the way north, you would be missing items that you're required to find. At the beginning of the game, try to build as east and west as you can to take advantage of the full grid. The most important resources in Blueprints is knowledge and experience, and you can't get those without trying to lay as many floor plans as possible. Tip number 5, try new plans. Speaking of floor plans, when you think your day has nearly come to an end and you think you're running out of options quickly, consider trying and building new rooms that you haven't seen before. You would be surprised with how often what you think you didn't need was exactly what you needed to get over the hump. Tip number 6, small sacrifices. Sometimes drafting a room that is a dead end early on can pay dividends down the road. For example, drafting a green terrace removes the cost from drafting future green rooms. The same can be said for drafting the nursery. It might not take you anywhere, but it can improve your steps found in further bedrooms during this run, which are valuable. Tip number 7, resources. Keys, gems, and footsteps are the 3 biggest currencies in the world of Blueprints. However, at the beginning, footsteps aren't as valuable as they are later on. Try to build a solid base of keys and gems at the beginning of each day by consistently drafting rooms that guarantee or nearly guarantee these items, such as the nook that always provides a key or the den that always provides a gem. When it comes to spending, always try to hold on to keys and gems if there are other options available that don't have a cost and you don't need a specific blueprint. Tip number 8, explore nooks and crannies. Always be sure to explore every inch of every room, including the floors, tables, behind furniture, and things like this, as it's quite common to find gems, keys, and coins just lying around, and one extra key can make all the difference. Tip number 9, tools. Tools such as the redacted, and redacted don't have a limited number of uses, so constantly attempt to use them at every single opportunity that presents itself. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work. Tip number 10, walk away. If you are or feel like you have hit a roadblock on a certain puzzle or a certain part of the estate, it's very important to remember that there is no puzzle in Blueprints that is required to get to the 46th room, which is incredible. In addition to this, there is almost always more than one way to solve a specific puzzle. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe and find a lot more like it. Video games is a positivity-first gaming outlet. We believe that gaming should be a force for good. We focus on making uplifting content with constructive discussions and celebrating what makes games great. That's all for today, and until next time, be good to your fellow gamer, but more importantly, be better to your fellow human.